Hello and welcome to the Crypto Lifestyle, where we focus on decentralization, mass adoption, and other Bitcoin related stuff to bank us coin. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the fact that China has now banned Bitcoin miners, which is forcing these Chinese miners to migrate to other areas of the world, which is providing a financial opportunity for these other countries, as well as it's decentralizing the Bitcoin network. And we'll be discussing how in this video. And if you are new to the crypto lifestyle, my name is Connor. I do have my own channel called Crypto Empire. If you want to check that out, there's a link down in the description below. But yes, I'm stepping in for the legend today, Francis, Mr. 100X, the trendsetter. Shout out to Francis. Shout out to the entire team at TCL. You guys are doing an amazing job. And again, if you're new to the crypto lifestyle, subscribe, comment on this video, hit the like, and make sure you have all bell notifications turned on as well. And let's get into how China has now banned Bitcoin mining.
Woo-hoo! It's the crypto lifestyle, baby!
So the Bitcoin ban in China is happening as we speak, and they are really ramping down on it at this point in time. We can read in this article how basically the hash rate is really dropping. We're going to be taking a look at the chart in just a second of the hash rate. But you might be asking yourself, why are they actually banning Bitcoin mining? What's the motive behind it? And while we don't have one singular answer to that question, we can read from an article that points us in a direction. They say, the company pointed out that the main driver of China's actions is capital control, and control more generally in their view. As explained by BitOda, Bitcoin mining allows Chinese players to convert RMB into BTC and consequently into currencies outside China's governmental control. So a lot of people are speculating that this is the biggest attack on Bitcoin in Bitcoin's history. And the reason that China is doing it is because they want to be able to control their currency. A lot of people are speculating that their CBDC has something to do with it. Look, we don't know. All we know is that there are opportunities when governments make these kinds of actions. And we can read here from the biggest Bitcoin shiller there is around, Michael Saylor. Shout out to Michael Saylor. He's saying that the China Bitcoin ban is going to offer a windfall. We can read here, China's crackdown on cryptocurrencies could become $1 trillion mistake for China and has already brought a windfall to Bitcoin miners in North America. MicroStrategy might have paid double or triple for recent Bitcoin acquisitions if not for the China exit. Saylor said that last Friday. So pretty much Michael Saylor, he's still buying like $500 million orders of Bitcoin, $1 billion orders of Bitcoin. And now he's pretty much thanking China for being able to get it on the cheap. So depending on how you do look at the situation, it can be either a good thing or a bad thing. And we have to remember that China secured about 53% of the Bitcoin network with all of their mining operations combined. So we just saw a 53% drop in the security of the Bitcoin network. And it didn't go down. It's still working perfectly fine. So shout out to Satoshi Nakamoto for designing this brilliant, absolutely brilliant cryptographic asset that is really, bulletproof. You can do whatever you want to take it down. It's really, really hard to take down the Bitcoin network. And we can see here with the Bitcoin hash rate chart, we're looking at it from April 1st to July 1st. Basically, we were peaking out at about 191 hashes per second back in early May, and then we just had a really steady drop off, and we saw lows of about 66 hashes per second. We're now at about 90 hashes per second, which is less than half of what we were seeing earlier on just in the month and 2 months ago. So there was a very steep decline in the mining power, and one can definitely speculate that this had an effect on the Bitcoin price itself. If we take a look at the Bitcoin price currently trading at $34,000, if we take a look at this chart, from the time that this ban was announced, really it's just down, right? And now we're sitting at a level that we were back in about January and early February. We're sitting in that same level around 30K. So there's no doubt about it that this China attack, like a really big FUD attack on Bitcoin, and the hash rate dropping had a big impact on price of the Bitcoin asset, but we're not going to be focusing on the price of Bitcoin in this video. We're going to be focusing on the opportunity that this Bitcoin mining ban does provide many other countries out there, including the United States of America. We can take a look at this chart, which is telling us the Bitcoin mining hash rate as of last year, April 2020, but it does give us a pretty accurate representation of the leaders of the Bitcoin miners of the world. And China was number one, I should say, right? They had about 65% of all of the Bitcoin mining last year in April. The US second, Russia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Iran, Canada, then we have Venezuela down here. No doubt El Salvador might be making its way into this list. We're going to be getting into the South American countries a little bit later on in this video. But all this means is that all of the miners in China are now migrating to other areas of the world. A lot of people are going to Texas, no doubt Kazakhstan, Russia, Malaysia, Germany as well. So we're seeing a lot of outflow, and this is really decentralizing the Bitcoin network, because a lot of people were skeptical that China had so much of the Bitcoin mining operations there that, there were false claims, completely false claims, but people did think that weren't as educated. People thought that China controlled Bitcoin, right? Because all of the mining took place there, or the majority of the mining took place there. And that's just not true, right? Bitcoin is decentralized by nature, and you really can't, nobody controls it, right? Has no private body, no controlling governmental organization. It's free, open software that can be seen by all, and you just can't take it down no matter how hard you try. So a lot of people had that fear that China was controlling it. This completely eradicates that fear. And now the network is being decentralized across the globe as miners shift to different locations, which is absolutely amazing. It'll boost economies. It will offer more opportunities to developing third world countries that have access to clean renewable energy that can now tap into that clean renewable energy and start to mine Bitcoin. Because, we live on planet Earth, and planet Earth is really one big giant organism of living things working together. And it produces a lot of excess energy, right? Talk about mining from volcanoes in El Salvador, right? There's so much energy that the earth produces that this is just allowing people to put their thinking cap on and really start to utilize all of this clean energy that comes from the earth. So we can see a tweet here from Documenting Bitcoin. China logistics firm in this province, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, is airlifting 3,000 kilograms, about 6,600 pounds of Bitcoin miners to Maryland. So the crackdown on Bitcoin mining is a geostrategic blunder for China and a chance for the U.S. to secure more jobs, its energy grid, and a place in the digital economy. U.S. is getting more opportunities. And then we can also read here from Documenting Bitcoin, the largest infrastructure displacement in modern history is taking place. Roughly 45% of the Bitcoin mining industry is relocating continents. Does this affect its users? Well, you might just have to wait a little bit longer for a transaction, but that's literally it. You can try and take down Bitcoin, half of the miners can turn off, and the network still works perfectly fine. You might have to wait a minute longer. So that's absolutely amazing to see. Also, we can see that a lot of miners are moving to Texas. Chinese Bitcoin mining company invests $25 million in new facility in Texas. And this is just one event of a lot. A lot of mining companies are moving to Texas. And this is a pretty well-known one. So the firm that runs BTC.com, Bitcoin mining pool, is seeking out mining real estate in Texas, as are a lot of other Chinese mining companies. We can read here that BitMining plans to invest $25.74 million in the 57 megawatt facility, which it will operate alongside Dory Creek. The company claims that 85% of its power is generated by clean and low carbon energy. So opportunity is arising for North American miners right now. The Chinese government's cracking down. The US, the government is pro-Bitcoin at this point in time. So realistically, what we do have here is a massive opportunity for other places in the world to step up, to start using renewable energy to mine Bitcoin, to secure their own hash rate, and to really secure their future in this changing financial landscape of the world. We're not going to be getting into the conversation of hyperinflation and fiat currency in this video, but just know that it's a ticking time bomb, right? And Bitcoin really is the best alternative out there. Gold is outdated. There's a lot of gold bugs out there who may disagree. That's a conversation for another day. But Bitcoin is the supreme asset. It is the best performing asset over the last decade. There's no rebuttal to that argument. It's a straight fact. So this is an amazing opportunity for other countries to step up. So we can read here. all of the countries where Bitcoin adoption is being considered. So the fact that El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, just really, it was the first domino to fall. I do expect a lot of other bigger dominoes to now start to fall. China erasing it may actually hurt them big time in the end. Only time is going to tell. But the fact that we now have all of these other smaller countries considering now also adopting a Bitcoin standard, Bitcoin's legal tender, it really makes this whole geopolitical landscape very, very interesting. So politicians from El Salvador, Paraguay, Panama, Brazil, Mexico, and more have all expressed support for Bitcoin adoption. So as of right now, El Salvador is the only country out of the ones that I just mentioned that has Bitcoin as actual legal tender, but all these other congressmen in these other countries are highly considering it, and we will see if the people demand it, well then the government will have to listen eventually. You would hope so, right? And so far, none of these countries have actually adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, but it is certainly a trend to pay attention to. As the first countries to start talking about this, they represent the guinea pigs of the Bitcoin experiment as a true currency in a nation. It's going to be very, very interesting how this does develop. There is a lot of clean energy to be used in South America, as we can see over here, right? We already have Venezuela up here. This was last year. I can only imagine where it is this year. But I do see that a lot of hashing power, a lot of mining power is going to be going to South American nations, because we have the president of El Salvador here, Nayib Bukele, saying that clean volcano-powered hash rate is coming soon. So he has these, very nice futuristic pictures of these Bitcoin mining facilities that will be powered by volcano energy. So this is really the fact that China has now banned Bitcoin mining, just opened up massive opportunities for other parts of the world to stake their claim and to pick up what China did drop. So I'm super interested to see how this does develop. I do agree with Michael Saylor saying that it's going to offer a windfall for other nations such as the US, such as El Salvador and other South American nations, Europe, Kazakhstan, other Asian nations. Everybody's going to be picking up what China did drop, meaning that the Bitcoin network is now more secure, more decentralized than ever. So we'll see who was right in the end, if it was the right move for China to do this. Only time will tell. So since the year of 2012, China has now banned Bitcoin 13 times, and every single time Bitcoin comes back stronger. So will we see the price of Bitcoin rise back to $60,000 tomorrow? Nobody knows, but that's not the most important thing to be thinking about right now. What we need to realize is that the fact that China just banned Bitcoin mining will only make the Bitcoin network stronger in the end, and it offers more opportunities for other countries out there to pick up the slack, to start their own Bitcoin mining processes, companies, and utilize clean energy from the earth to make it happen. So we're living in very exciting times. I'm super bullish on Bitcoin. Long term, of course. We're witnessing firsthand how it's changing the entire financial world, and the fact that everybody around the world will have access to a bank account from their phone. We've never seen anything like it before, so we're living in crazy times, and I want to hear from you. What do you think about the fact that Bitcoin has now banned mining? Leave a comment down below. And my name is Connor from the Crypto Lifestyle, and at this point in time, there really isn't anything left to say other than until the next video, your ass is on your own, brah. Later.